Hey there guys, it's Connor. Today I just want to share with you a project I've been working on inside of Unity and coding with C Sharp. Now, if you don't know about me, you don't know what I do here, I'm not a full-time coder. I'm not I don't work in any industry of, any kind to do with software development, game development, and stuff like that. I have done projects on the side for people, and I helped teams out and stuff and whatnot. But what I want to kind of go over today is making indie games. Okay, games are like what I like to say I specialize in. Okay, I like to make games. I find it a lot more fun than making software. Since I just haven't made software in a long time. Anyway, what I want to say is, so I can't remember what I'm going on about, but yeah. So I've always made projects, and they've always kind of fizzled out because I hit a wall, and the wall that I hit would usually be something in my code that I just can't overcome and that I don't know how to do, or usually I'd hit the wall and I'd try again, but to no result, and then eventually I just give up and then start a new project. So one thing that I really just want to do is just finish something. I don't care how simple it is. I don't care if it's the most basic project in the world, but as long as it runs and it does what I want it to do and it's fun to play, then that is what matters to me. For there's a common misconception out there. A lot of people say, I'm going to grab this game engine, I'm going to start making a game, and it's just going to be like the next, AAA title that, I don't know, has sold over 1 million copies, or even, I'm going to make an indie game and it's going to be the next Minecraft. I'm going to set up, my game's going to make millions of dollars or millions of pounds if you live in the UK, and whatever, which is false. When starting off, okay, and this isn't really what I wanted to talk about today, but I just want to get this across, that when you start off, if you're a new indie developer, right, and you're looking up to people, to teach you on whether it's YouTube tutorials or stuff like that, do not think that your first game is going to be the most amazing thing that you've ever seen. Do not plan a game. Do not try and make an open world MMO, or do not try and make a game that is absolutely massive. Now, these games are so good because, one, they have all this money to be able to put into this game. They have, these AAA studios have a lot of money, millions and millions, which they, set aside as a budget for that game. And they also have a team of maybe, it could be anything from 50 people to 250 people to, we're talking even maybe Grand Theft Auto, 1,000 people, to make these games. So don't think that you're going to create something amazing by yourself in your bedroom on a zero budget. It's fortunately, it doesn't work that way. But if you start off small, you start off with small games, you keep learning, you create small games, you create little things that work, you create little games that are simple and fun to play. And just every time you make a new game, okay? Now, for your first game, I wouldn't recommend spending any longer than about maybe 2 months. Because, after that point, you're taking too long. It's only your first game. Make it simple, make it fun to play, and it'll work. So every time you make a game, you say, hey, this first project I'm going to spend 2 months on. The second project, say, hey, maybe I'm going to spend maybe 3, maybe 4 months on, but I'm going to make this project a little bit more advanced and a little bit better. And every time you make something, you're just going to continue to improve and get better and get better and get better. And that's something that I really want to do. So I haven't actually ever finished an indie game, and I've used the Unity engine. Here you can see this game. Now ignore all of this art because this is from the internet and it's literally just placeholder, because another important thing first is when you're coding your game to make sure that the mechanics work before you make the game look pretty. Okay, you could design a really, really, amazing mechanics, and the game couldn't be so good graphically, but it will still be a lot more fun to play than if you, spent so much time making art, but, the mechanics of the game sucked, and movement sucked, and AI sucked, and all of this stuff just didn't really work, and it was, clunky and horrible. Yes, it'll be a very pretty game, but it just wouldn't play well, and it wouldn't, it wouldn't make players want to come back to your game. So very important part there. Keep that in mind, that when you're starting your game, always get the mechanics working first before you start to implement art and all of this stuff. So I've literally just started this project today, and one thing that I'm working on right now is the movement, so the player controller. Now I want to have multiple characters in this little game. Now so maybe, for example, we could have a warrior, a mage, not that they're going to be that, but a warrior, a mage, and some more characters. But I also want those characters to have different properties, so I can easily change, like I've done down here with variables. Now these are not organized, I need to organize them. Like movement speed, the dashing distance, how much stamina, do things take away, how much stamina do they have, how much health do they have, and stuff like that. So that's cool. That's what I want to really work on. The movement system, pretty simple at the moment. I found a good alternative to make it work very nicely. The animations, ignore them, they're not set up. Eventually what I want to happen is the players like rotation, so you see his face into the right now, will be relative to my mouse location. So if I move my mouse left, hey, this player is going to look left. If I move it up, it's going to move up, move it down, and then also tie that into the key bindings as well. So I put in a dashing system. I can dash, pretty simply, right? And it's really, really it's not working the way I wanted it to. It's just instantly moving my player from one location to another location. And I kind of want to lerp between those to make that a lot smoother. And I could hide it with animation, but I don't really want to do that. I want to make that nice and smooth. So I'm going to just lerp between these two values, so my current position and new position, and make a smooth movement between here and here. So I will fix that and I'll update that soon. Shooting is a thing. Again, ignore the R. I still need to work on that for different weapons, different properties, different bullets or different attacks or whatnot. If I come and turn gizmos on here, you can see that a ray is being cast out from my player. Now this ray, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually use that to hit enemies, or whether I'm gonna use it, use a projectile, sorry. So that's basically that. There's also a follow script on the camera which gets the midpoint between my player and my mouse, and it will focus directly on the middle point between the player and my mouse. That way I can keep my player in focus, and also when I move my mouse, that will stay, it will move the camera as well to get a better look of the scene. So that's basically what I'm working on now. I know this video was all over the place, and I'm just completely going on about rubbish. But I hope you took something out of it. If you did, let me know down in the comments. If you're an artist, and you want to help me, if you want to get involved in a little project, I'd be so up for that. I'll leave my email down in the description, where you can, actually no, I'll leave a link down in the description where you can go and you can fill in some information and contact me. You can either be a pixel artist, or like, I don't know, I'll just pick someone that, if you want to, I pick someone that is good. But I also like pixel art, but also, if you guys ever played the original Binding of Isaac, let me just find that. Binding of Isaac. Images. So let me just open up a better image here. So that's a good image to explain what I mean. I kind of like this art style as well. So if you guys are like design and flash, and you can create art that's very clean, nice, bold, lines, very smooth lines, very good color palettes or whatnot, and you want to help with a little project, again, click that link, let me know. I'll definitely be up for working with some people to make a little better game, because I am good at art, and I did do like 3D environment art for games, which basically is building the game world in 3D and making it look good. But when it comes to like 2D stuff, pixel art and stuff like that, I'm not really that good. I mean, I could learn, but I'd rather work with someone just to, you know, make that process a little bit more easier and a little bit less daunting. But again, I'm ranting on. I'm sorry. I hope you took some out of this video. Yeah, and I shall see you guys in the next little update. So thanks for watching and cheers.